Hi, this is Tony Burke with Accutech Home Inspections. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about water heaters. Now, this is a 40-gallon gas-fired water heater. It's about 1 year old, and most water heaters around Dayton tend to last about 10 to 14 years. It really depends on several different factors, such as do you have hard or soft water, are you using a water softener, and there's also the difference between city water and well water. So your mileage may vary depending on what that. I've seen them be as short as 6 years. I've seen them last as long as 30 or 35. So, but 10 to 14 is about average then. Now there's several different common types. The most common would be just gas or electric, and this is a gas. There's also some of the newer instant-on or tankless water heaters. Now, several different parts of a water heater. And this, like I said, this being a gas one, this has a flue, and that's the silvery metal ductwork right there for the gas escaping. And the big important things about that is making sure that it's first of all straight up and down, and making sure that it's not rusted or corroded then. Now, you can see the two different copper pipes. The one on the right has a shut-off valve and is open because the shut-off valve is in line with the piping. If it was at a 90-degree angle, then it would be closed off. And that's the cold water supply line. Now, the little silvery nuts are basically the dielectric couplers which connects the piping to the water heater. And just make sure, check it a couple of times a year, make sure it's tight, it's not leaking, there's no corrosion on it. The same thing with the flue, making sure there's not any type of corrosion or any type of water dripping down it. I've actually seen this happen on several houses where the water will, since you have a bad boot up on the roof, the water will come down the flue and end up on top of the water heater and start rusting it then. Now, the big part is the white tank and everything. There's actually two tanks here. There's the outer tank, which you can see, and the inner tank, and in between that is the insulation to kind of keep it more energy efficient then. This gold piece is basically the temperature pressure relief valve, and that allows water to be vented in case the tank develops a high pressure issue, and it'll basically open up. It's a little shut-off valve, and then it'll dump the water out, relieving the pressure then. Most important part, and we see this all the time, is that when people replace the water heaters, they'll forget to put the extension tube on here. And you don't want the water spraying it, especially since it's going to be very hot water. It's going to be spraying all over the place and possibly injuring somebody. So make sure that you install the extension tube back. And it basically goes down to within 2 to 4 inches of the bottom on the floor then. Now, while we're down here and everything, this is the flame control system, and like I said, this is a gas system, so it has a little popper, so like on your barbecue grill, to light it. And of course, you've got the setting it up on, off, and pilot, and the controller for. And down here is the range that you can see the little white line. That white line is basically what most people put it on. It looks like we want to keep it a little bit warmer than most people. And of course, to save some money, if you are going on vacation or anything, you'll notice down here, it says vacation. So turn it to vacation, so it's still lit and everything, but it's not going to be just running hot water if you're not going to be using it then. The gas line right here has a shut-off valve, just like the one for the water, except this is the gas line shut-off valve. And as you can see, it's on. This would be off at a 90-degree angle then. Down here, you can see that's a little way to look inside to see the burner assembly. And of course, the newer ones are all sealed. That's one of the changes that happened a couple of years ago and everything. So there's really no way to light it. That's why you would use the little popper and pushing down on the little red button there. Lastly, this has a drip pan on the bottom. A lot of times people will not have that. In several municipalities they require that when you do replace it to put one in, and since we had this replaced last year, we have a pan installed on it. Just kind of helps if it does start dripping. If the tank does go, like I said, they usually last about 10 to 14, then you'll have a couple of days to notice it before you'll start having water overflowing on that, but that's just a good safety valve for One last thing to be concerned about is, on gas-fired water heaters, there will be a screen for air intake for the combustion to heat the water that is below the tank. We can't see that, but that would be underneath the tank. And you need to make sure everything's clean. Now, even though we vacuumed last week, we can already see some dust bunnies starting to appear. So always make sure that this is a clean area. You need to have at least a couple of feet around the unit so that you don't have any type of blockage of air. Same thing with the furnace right here. You can see the return air and I want to make sure that there's nothing blocking it. I mean, they always say you never put a bunch of storage materials around the furnace or the water heater, so just remember to do that then. So lastly, if you have any questions, please give us a call. Once again, this is Tony Burk with Accutech Home Inspections. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.